Hi everyone, welcome to Retargeting with Motion Matching. In this tutorial, we are going to understand the updated version of third person template in Unreal Engine 5.7 version and enabling plugins for the motion matching, importing more animations from the Locomotion pack, creating post-search schema and post-search database creation, and also creation of animation blueprint with trajectory. Finally, motion matching to the character from Locomotion pack. We will go step by step to understand this in an easier manner. So if you see, this is the Unreal Engine 5.7.0 installed in my PC. I'm just launching it. It takes a while to launch it. And yes, there we are. So this is the new interface. I'm not having any project at the moment. So if you can see, sample projects are there and also getting started, news, home, all these sections can be explored. There is very good information in this and all the latest stuff. And I'm going to create a new project, third person character with scalable options. And yes, the project name is again articulation. Anyway, I can extend the previous project as well. Let me see. And now we are opening Unreal Engine 5.7 with third person template. In this tutorial, we are going to observe the difference between 5.7 and 5.3 or any other earlier versions of third person template as well. So yeah, I just made gray color instead of green color just for the uniform look. And now wait a moment. Yes, I'm going to the third person character and third person blueprint, and let us open the animation blueprint, attach it to that particular third person character. Yes, we are in the animation graph, and there is event graph also. Event graph, if you can see the code right side in asset browser, there are many animations, so which were not there before in any other previous version of Unreal Engine third person character. Can you see? I'll tell you from my observation from where all these animations were brought to Unreal Engine 5.7 default third person template. By seeing this, don't get mistaken that these are Locomotion templates. These are not Locomotion templates so far. And the state machine, if you can see, state machines and animation graph, you can see it's functional here. It came with third person character. Now anyway, this is as I mentioned, it's 5.7. So I'm going to launch 5.3.2 just to see the difference before going to the motion matching tutorial. If you can see in 5.3, along with the third person character, third person game mode is also given. Okay, whereas in 5.7, if you observe, along with the third person character and game mode, there is a third person player controller is also given. That is one small observation from my side. And then when it comes to animations, so in 5.3, like before the 5.7 versions, I can say like they were even using the mannequins from Unreal Engine 4. So now it has been removed in the latest version and it's all organized in a better manner. So the mannequins, if you see, the mannequins are two, that is two skeletons were coming in 5.3, Manny and Quinn. And if you go inside the folders also, like you can see the animations, everything. You can see only 4 animations. And when you go to the other mannequin, almost like 9 animations will be there. That is in a version 5.3, this file. And when you come to the articulation file that I have created in 5.7, so you can go to the characters and mannequins. You can see the folder structure is little different with respect to animations. Before that, if you can observe the meshes, it's all simplified and very organized. So even the animations also well organized, and unarmed is the animations, like multiple animations will be there where attacking, jogging, jumping, walking, all these things will be there along with the ideal, all these things, blueprints, animation blueprints and all. So for walking, multiple animations are there. For jogging, multiple animations are there. So for jumping, multiple animations are there along with that attacking. So this is unarmed. So along with this unarmed, so you can see, like so death animations, can you see, and pistol animations, and also like rifle animations, all these things. If you see the blue color mannequin there, you can understand by this time these animations were taken from Lyra project. So the same project we are going to use for this particular motion matching tutorial today. So I am coming to the third person character blueprint event graph. Even if you see, this is the very simplified version. So I'm trying to open the event graph of the third person character in 5.3 version. You can see many things, even enhanced input, local player subsystem, a lot of things are there, connectivity, everything. So that all has been simplified in the latest version. You may observe the difference between the skeletals also, skeletal meshes also, like skeletons. How many skeletons are there? A lot of skeletons are there. Now you can see like only 2 skeletons. The third one was from the previous tutorial that we have imported from Schema. Otherwise only 2 skeletons will be there. So it's all simplified and more efficient, and performance is also increased right now. Create motion matching. So there are 2 projects. One is Lyra game, another one is like game animations released by Epic Games with 500 animations. But for now, we are going to use Lyra project for motion matching. So now when we open the Lyra project, so if you can see, a lot of animations will be there in that. So in the heroes folder of characters, so when you go to characters folder and heroes, and then if you can see mannequin and animations, so a lot of animations will be there, particularly like locomotion. You can go poses and locomotion. So for pistol, for rifle, anything you take in these folders, a lot of animations will be there. Our interest is to export a set of locomotion templates, but I'm just expressing that the best of the best animations from the Lyra project were properly mapped and properly retargeted and taken into Unreal 5.7. So now let us enter the actual subject for motion matching. First step is to enable 2 plugins. So one is, when I search for that, it is showing something like experimental. Okay, it's okay, no problem. Though it is in experimental stage, it is actually required for our project. So don't restart it immediately. We need to enable one more plugin. So and then we can actually restart. So that is nothing but pose search. Pose search, because it's all about searching the poses and creating a repository of the poses, that is creating a database of the poses from which we can actually map the appropriate animations in the project. So let's go to the Lyra project and our interest is to select unarmed folder, nothing else more than that. That single folder from Locomotion would be enough to take the animations and to try the motion matching in the new project we have created. That too, we only need animation sequences, nothing else from that folder too. So we are just applying filter to see only animation sequences. Now you can actually select all animation sequences by Control A and then right click. We need to migrate, asset actions, migrate. So it will give all the dependencies like linked assets, linked dependencies, everything. Of course, yes, no problem. We can take all these things. No need to filter anything. It is even giving the updated mannequins, like the new characters, like blue character, something like that, which is used in Lyra project. The character also will come to the new project, so it will be good for us. We can use the character as well. Click OK to export. So it will show a window. We need to select the content folder from the new project and export into the content folder. It will take a while to export all the files. And after the export is done, we can even close the Lyra project. We don't need it anymore. Right. Now let us open our project and check the imported files. They will be under the heroes folder, and a lot of things like meshes we have got, rigs we got the blue character basically, and also animations also we got. You can see that there is a folder called Locomotion and Unarmed. So all the animation sequences, whichever you have exported there, from there, everything has come here along with the attached files. So every time I'm using a term called locomotion, right? So let us see what is locomotion now. Locomotion is a system to make the character move in a realistic way. So it involves dynamic animations, blending, and movement logic. Okay, so all the movements can be blended here along with the blend shapes and blending animations. Also, there is something called pose search schema, which is very crucial here for motion matching. So it is actually defining the rules and structure for how the system interact with animation database to find the most suitable pose. So the database will be stored, the pose database will be stored in the Unreal Engine, and we are going to create the database. We will see how to. Now let us right click on the empty space in the content browser and go to the animation tab. So we can find motion matching, and in that pose search schema. So we are going to create pose search schema asset right now. Just click on that. Click on that. There will be a window called pick skeleton, and we are going to pick the skeleton that came with Lyra pack. That's the blue one. Let us rename it as PSS underscore motion matching. Okay, that's a schema for motion matching. Let's open that. All these options, I mean to say all these parameters, are useful for the animation database. Okay, that we are going to create further. It is for the purpose of decision making about the poses, about animation blendings, etc. After creating the pose search schema, now we are creating pose search database. What is this? It is very much useful for the matchmaking system for efficiently searching and selecting the most appropriate animation poses based on the character's current state and trajectory. What is trajectory? It's nothing but a path in which we are desiring the character to move based on some influences like physics, gravity, all these things in the real world. but trajectory is basically a path. Okay. Now right click, go to animation, motion matching, post search database. It will ask us to select a schema, and we are selecting the schema that we have created before. So we are just creating a post search database. With an appropriate name. Now when you open this, this looks like this. Right side we have got all the assets like animations, sequences, everything loaded. But the point is we need to bring all the animation sequences which we want to be added into the database from the Locomotion. And before doing that, we need to check the properties of all assets, like all animation sequences. So select all together and then right click, asset actions, edit selection in property matrix. So it's going to load the property matrix with all the selected items. Just wait for a while because all the assets are loading now. So it will help us to check the properties on a bulk. So the main thing what we need to check is root motion. 1 second. Yep, it loaded. If you can see, enable root, the first tick boxes, if you see, all the tick boxes are not on. For a couple of assets, that is off. So we need to make sure that all the tick boxes for the root motion are on for all the assets. Now we will select all the assets with Control A, and if you can see that enable root motion, it is showing some dot kind of stuff. So you need to enable for all and then save it. This is the very important property to change on a bulk for all the assets we are choosing from Locomotion. Now the properties are changed. Now what we need to do is we need to create a database right now. So go to the database and go to the content browser. For example, jog. So we need to create for each action or each movement, I can say. So search for jog forward, FWD. This is the naming convention in which the files are saved actually. So based on the naming convention, we will search here one by one. So there are two jog forward files. Anything would be fine. So I'm just going to drag one of the files there. Now again, and then jog forward start and jog forward stop. These two are also important because we are creating a smooth animations. Anticipation and exaggeration are the two animation principles which are to be applied for a nice transition between animations. So when it starts, it anticipates. When it ends, it exaggerates. Similarly, just like forward, we can search for the backward, which is BWD, and BWD start, BWD stop. So these two also done. Similarly, we can even search for left and right. Okay. So anything is fine. So jogging left, one file we can take, and jogging start and stop to the left side, and also right. Same thing. So right, left, front, back. All the things are done. Okay. Yeah. One more thing which is very important, which is pending, is idle. So that is also very important. Ideal state is must. So we will search for ideal state. 1 second. Jog. Okay, just idle. Maybe. Okay, fine. It's not about jogging. Ideal is like just ideal state. It's not about jogging idle. Correct. When it jogs, it comes under jogs, not the ideal. So anyway, post schema database is ready with assets along with trajectories. You can see if you select one particular asset like animation sequence, it is going along with a path. That path is nothing but a trajectory. Okay. So individually, if you see something like this, and all together, for example, if you want to press Ctrl A, you can press Ctrl A, and you can even watch all together at a time at once. So for now, I'm just watching individually, just observing the anticipation and exaggeration. So the starting and stopping point from ideal state, how it is starting, how it is stopping. It could be front, back, right, left. It could be anything. So just I'm observing, that's all. This is the animation database which will be applied finally when we move the character in the game. Now we have built the database, but how to call this database in the game? So we need to create an animation blueprint for that. Right click in the empty space and animation blueprint. Obviously the second skeleton, which is from Lyra game. Done. So ABP, animation blueprint underscore motion matching. Once you open the animation blueprint, this is simple. This is not that complicated, but we need to understand something important here. So there is an output pose. Search for motion match. We can see motion match and motion matching in animation, but we do not want all these things. So we want something in pose search. Just come down a bit. In the pose search, you can find motion matching. So we need to search the poses. Okay. So in that, we need to select the database. Okay. And then we need to search for pose history, where the trajectory option will come. Yeah. So the source is nothing but motion matching, and the destination will be connected to the output pose. Okay. Just try to, yeah. What is the trajectory? How should we add? So we should go to the third person character first. We can add one component called trajectory. Search for trajectory there. So character trajectory. It says that it's an experimental class, but it's fine, no problem. Compile and save. Now let us go to the animation blueprint, and in the event graph, just like we have seen before, we need to initialize the animation and we need to update the animation. So to initialize the animation, we are casting to the third person character and promoting a variable. Just rename the variable, yeah, as character blueprint. Yeah, so it's the character we are using right now. So third person character blueprint. Why we are promoting the variable? Because we need to actually get the trajectory from that. If you remember, we have already added trajectory in the third person character blueprint. And since we need to update the trajectory all the times, we are actually promoting a variable as set trajectory. Okay, and then we are connecting it to the update function. We are not casting here, if you see, because casting is very bad when it comes to updating, like frame by frame or second by second. So casting can be done in the initialization time, but not in the runtime. So it affects performance a lot. So we need to bind the trajectory now. For that, we go to the animation graph and there is an option. Can you see? Yes. click on the trajectory and then binding option, character trajectory, and then select the trajectory. And now we are done with the process. Let's go to the third person template and try to play. We are getting an error. I just click on that. With simple things we can actually clear that error. Okay, just click on there. So we need to disconnect the noodles, disconnect the connection there. Yes, come down. Yes, we need to disconnect this as well. And yeah, when you click on the error, it takes you to another node, and there also you need to just disconnect the connection. And now when you compile and save, there are no errors. Let's go and play now. Wow, I see the wonderful Lyra blue color character, and when I'm moving, yes, it is anticipating and it is exaggerating. So I love this. So it's considering the ideal position and starting position and the ending position of all the directions, all the 4 directions. But there is small thing I would recommend. 1 second, just go to the third person character and search for rotation. Actually, right now the rotation is actually oriented to the movement. If you just change it to controller and see how it moves, how the camera will move along with the character. That's it. So whichever option you like, that option you can actually opt for, and you can move the character according to your wish. So this is one option, and let us reverse the option and see once more. Oh yeah, the motion matching tutorial mission accomplished. Before ending this tutorial and before going to the next tutorial, I would like to remind you again that Epic Games has released 500 animations project, from which also you can actually do motion matching. Please try to experiment with those animations also. Process is simple, something like this. That's a good project to experiment with, to deal with. You can see, like, different kind of motions, and this is exclusively animation project. So I'm just playing a couple of clips from here, I mean from the project here. Hope this inspires you. Thank you very much. See you in next tutorial.